Okay, so here we are. We finished drawing our 2-point perspective, and we're just gonna color it in, and we'll color it in similar to the other one. I've taken my box of color pencils and I've picked the colors that I want to use, so they're gonna be right here. And reminder, we want to use a hand sharpener of some sort when we sharpen colored pencils. They're a little more delicate than regular pencils, and if you use an electric sharpener, sometimes it just eats up your whole thing, and you don't have much pencil left because it gets eaten up by the electric pencil sharpener. So I'm gonna go ahead and outline heavy with my pencil, and I'm gonna just do, like I did the other one, a variety of colors. I'm not making it look realistic. A lot of times if you went downtown, the buildings would, a lot of the buildings like this modern style would be like reflective. There'd be like glass or mirrors, and we're not gonna draw them like they're glass or mirrors. We wanna just kind of accent the shapes. Let me move this out of the way. So we're gonna just make each building its own color, like colored blocks, like we're using Lego. So, again, if we checked our work, we don't have to worry about checking that every line went to the vanishing point because we already checked that. But all these lines that I'm drawing, I did draw at an angle to go to the vanishing point. So they should be already correct. So I'm just tracing them. I'm using the ruler on this part just because it gives me again, a much cleaner line. And I can press hard and know that I'm gonna be making it accurate because I'm using the ruler to brace it. So just hold the ruler nice and firmly wherever you're drawing the line, and that way you have a bit more control. When I shade this one, I'm gonna do some shadows as I go. So here's my building. I think I'm gonna do, I think I'll make the light on this side. And so I'm gonna, no, I'll make the light here, and I'll have the shadow be opposite the other one. So I'm gonna make this side of every building be darker. The left side of every building is gonna be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna go ahead and accent like I did before, and you can color your buildings any way you want. I'm just kind of staying with the pattern. I do like to go with the line so that I don't color outside the line. That means I'm coloring with the outside line, so I don't have to worry about like staying in the line if I go like that all over the place. So I'm gonna color with the line to just give myself a border, and I'm gonna give myself a border on the whole building. And I'm turning it different directions because I like to be able to see what I'm coloring as I'm moving away from it. So there's a reason I keep turning my paper, so I can see where my border is and I don't go past it. Okay, so now I'll put it right side up. This side I'm gonna make them darker. I've got like a smudge here, so that's why I kind of decided to go with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and accent this edge here. I think I'll accent the corner on both sides, so I'll go across my corner. And then when I shade, remember I was gonna shade, or I shaded with the other one to the vanishing point, so it kind of stays, I am consistent with the angles of these lines going here, so I'm not gonna color just this way or sideways. I'm gonna color whatever the angle of my little rectangle is going in the direction. And I'm leaving some white showing just to create some streaks, okay? So I've got the darker part here. If I wanna color a little bit lighter on this side just to give it some representation of color, I'm holding it upside down so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'll bring the green across to the other side, but I'm just not gonna do it as dark. And that's gonna create just a little bit more dimension because there's a shadow here and the light shining on this side. Okay, so there's one building. What color should I do next to that? I think I will do, maybe I'll do kind of a pinkish color. So. I'm gonna outline it nice and firmly. Remember, your biggest buildings are gonna just take the longest just because they're, take up more space. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the paper at a different angle so I can, it seems like I do, it's easier to draw the lines going this way. So I'm gonna go like that. Actually, I'll start here. And then I will just draw on top of the pencil lines I've already drawn and accent them. Okay, there's that side. I'm going to do this side. Go back down here and go this way. Okay, so there's my pink building. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to accent the outline of the building, just the shape of the building by going a little bit darker in the shape. Okay, and then this side is going to be my darker side. So I'm going to angle a little bit darker. I'll leave some white showing. Going to give it a more linear look, so I'll do that a little bit. Color a little bit darker and leave some white showing and actually show my strokes. Some strokes down there, okay. And then this side I'm going to just make it a little bit lighter. I'm going to still go with the angle towards the angles of the lines towards the vanishing point. Okay, so dark, light, dark, light. Okay, let's get those. Let's try another color on my test sheet here. I think I will do this one here, this color. So, it's like a deep purpley blue. Basically making, some of them are more rectangular, but we're basically making like cubes that might be oblong, like rectangular, or like just boxes, taller, skinnier boxes. In the setting that we're putting them in, they look like looks like a city. But it might be something you might build with Legos, where you don't have all the details necessarily of all the windows and everything, but we're doing these lines to be symbolic of windows, and then it actually accents our perspective by doing that. Oops, I moved my ruler on that one. I'll straighten that out a little bit. Yeah, just make sure you hold your ruler firmly. Didn't hold it too firm right there. Okay, so I'm gonna outline the borders. Gonna lift the lines. I probably would take a little bit more time and make it a little bit neater if I wasn't doing the video. I don't want to keep you guys waiting while I make this absolutely perfect. Now I'm doing the left side of every building, not this side going that way because it's a different direction. I'm still going to do the left side of the buildings darker to create the illusion of shadow. So I'm going to do my darkest part. I'm going to continue with my angles and show a little white and show some streaks. I'll be careful I don't color on top of my other building. Okay, and then here I'll just do some light coloring. I'm still coloring towards the vanishing point. So I'm changing the angle of my coloring. Okay, so there's that one. If I want to bring that in a little bit more, I can. Later, but I'll leave a little bit of that white. Kind of has a nice glow to it. Okay, so there's those colors. Let's do, I'll do orange or maybe I'll do a red. I'll do red. I haven't done anything red. So I'll outline this. A smaller building. Should go a little bit faster. I'll try this way to do my angled lines. Make sure you keep holding your ruler nice and firm. Okay, so there's my red one. Let me outline my building and the borders. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the shadow on the, so I'm going to color these a little bit darker and angle the lines. I'll show a little white in there, and then over here I'm just going to do it super light. Okay, so there's that building. So what other colors might I use? Oh, oops. Turquoise, do icy blue. Let's try this one. It's nice, I'll do this one turquoise over here. So, that. A little bit of residue, chunks from this. You know, sometimes there's a metal ridge here which kind of protects the ruler from getting the wood wearing down, but sometimes that metal will cut into your pencil lead. And if you use a ruler with crayons, it'll totally eat into the crayons. If you use a ruler with markers, like if you did this in marker, the thing you'd have to worry about is you're going to get marker all over this, and then it's going to stain that, but then it might spread on to the rest of your paper, so you kind of have to be a little bit careful if you want to use markers. I don't know that I would use a ruler. So you could freehand color it, and it would probably be okay. But you do want to be careful of markers if you're going to use that. Okay, shadows on the left side, and I'm going to draw towards the vanishing point. So I'm going to just gonna basically draw stripes. The smaller the buildings are, it's gonna be harder to color, and then I'll just do some real light coloring on these. Okay, so, all right, what other colors do I want to use? I think I'll do, is this a deep blue? I think I'll do deep blue over here. And maybe I'll do, yeah, no, I'll do deep blue here, and I'll do green on the other side. This looks kind of similar to that purple, but not quite. Okay, almost done here. It's a little bit harder to line it up with the tiny lines. Don't worry if they're not perfectly on the pencil. If you're close, it's still lining up to the right area. Okay. I'm going to outline the whole building with shading, and then I'm going to color a little bit darker on the left. Okay, one more building. What color should I use? Haven't done, maybe I'll do orange. Orange color. Just plain old orange. We'll do that. Okay, so here we go. Last building. When you're doing your project, feel free, because this is taking a while, and I'm doing it in real time because that gives me an idea of how long it will take you and how long it actually takes. Normally we'll start a project in class 1 week, and you'll get a few weeks or a few sessions sometimes to work on the projects that take a little bit longer. So don't feel you have to do this all in one day, and don't feel you have to do it all in one setting. If you want to just do the basics, stop the video, and then wait till later or the next day to start up and do, you know, the coloring or what other part you're going to do. I'm going to try to get some of my streaks from the blue crumbs that came off my blue building before I start coloring in, because it won't shade real well with the orange. Okay, so let's outline the orange building. The same with this. Once you've done your buildings, got our shadows. If you want to do your sky, you can do your sky however you want. I probably would come and do my sidewalk. I like that, I don't know what I used, like a dark, I used purple maybe, or dark blue. I'm going to sharpen this a little bit just so it's, I always press that down, remember, it'll kind of secure that in. So I'm going to draw my sidewalk to accent it and make it look like it's a little bit more finished. So I'm going to do that. Make sure you draw it right up to the vanishing point. So make sure your angles are accurate, because you want it to look nice and finished, and make sure you're holding your ruler really securely when you're doing the line, because I'm pressing really, really hard. So I'm going to do these extra dividing lines because I think that'll make it look more flat like a sidewalk, so it'll separate the sidewalk from the buildings a little bit. Those are little tiny lines back here. So you kind of see how this is taking on the appearance. If you want to do some, we'll color in our sky, and then if you want to color in the road and shade in the road, that will also make the sidewalk stand out a little bit more. Let's do that without the ruler right there. Okay, so there's my sidewalk, there's my buildings, and then if I want to come, I'll come back with that regular blue again. And if I want to leave areas for clouds, I might leave leave just a little bit of a area where I might have some clouds. And then I'm just gonna shade across my picture. I'm gonna, again, go a little bit faster with what I'm doing right now, just to give you a sense of this sky. I'll put a cloud kind of coming behind that building. I'll have another cloud over here. Just leave a few white spaces to have the illusion of clouds in my sky. I'll have them be littler the farther back they get. A little bit hard on the edge of the paper here to get it in. If you want to add a little bit of another color, if you want to give it a little bit more drama, and you can add maybe some purple streaks. Sometimes I like to, near the borders of the paper, put a little bit of purple, or a little bit darker. It might naturally frame your picture a little bit. So, little purple streaks in there, here and there. And then for my street, I think it was the purple we used, or maybe I'll use that teal, just to make it a little bit different, just to create a little bit of dimension in the street. I'm gonna color it towards the, I'm not really doing it super straight, but I'll color it towards the vanishing point. So it kind of angles it like that. Not doing a super great job on that part. I probably should have gone horizontal, but I want to kind of accent that we're going to a vanishing point, so I'm gonna do that a bit. You can take your time a little bit more on that, but that kind of leads the lines to where the vanishing part is. If you want to fill in shadows, or you want to make it look like it's a parking lot or something, if you want, you could shade in here a little bit. I'm going to put some shadows. There's going to be lots of shadows from these buildings because there's a lot of height, so I could do some shadows just on the ground there if I want. So anyway, I think that's a good place to stop. 2 vanishing points, all the right sides of the building go, the roof and the floor to the vanishing point, left side of every building, even the buildings over here, all line up to the left vanishing point. So there you go, 2-point perspective, and we'll take a pick, 1-point perspective, and then we have 2-point perspective. Okay, I hope you guys have fun, and can't wait to see your artwork. Don't forget to, if you have an iPhone, or your parents can take your picture and send me a picture of your artwork. I would love to have it, and you could share it with your classmates. Also, if you want to take a picture of you holding your artwork so I can see you with your picture, it would be really nice to see your face. I miss each one of you, and it would be really nice to see your happy faces with your beautiful artwork. So if you can do that, send the picture to your teacher, and your teacher will send it to me. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.